Good evening, my name's Alex Campbell.
And I'm Mark Palmer.
And I'm watching two drunk Aussies waffling about Star Wars. So first of all, R.I.P. David Prowse.
Django! I don't know.
Yeah, the guy in the original Darth Vader suit. Are you alright, Mark?
I don't know. I was just thinking of Mando and then Django, the Django theme popped into my head.
I didn't even say the Mando, I said David Prowse.
I know, but we're talking about Mandalorian, right?
Probably at some point, yeah. David Prowse is dead. He was in A Clockwork Orange, he was in Hammer horror films, he was a bodybuilder, he was in the original Darth Vader suit. He's dead. Peter Mayhew's dead, Kenny Baker's dead, Carrie Fisher's dead, Ivan Kershner's dead, Christopher Lee's dead, Alec Guinness is dead. Everyone's dying.
Yeah, well, no, they can't live forever.
That is very true.
They can live forever in our cinema.
That's true. And they do. But it saddens me every time one of them goes.
Oh no, it's fucking sad. I was way sadder than I thought it'd be about David Prowse though.
Yeah, the guy in the fucking suit.
Yeah. Did you know they actually did a for him like years later? They actually refilmed the final scene where the mask comes off and actually had his face under it.
That's cool.
It was like I feel like obviously it never got anywhere, but it was just nice that he got that because he was deeply, deeply hurt by the fact that he wasn't going to be the face.
Yeah.
Under the mask.
Same with the voice because he didn't know they were going to dub it over with James Earl Jones.
I'm glad they fucking did.
It did because he had this like weird like
British.
Yeah, but not even like sophisticated British, like you know, in those like farms where they have sex with sheep and stuff, like Farmer Joe, fucking British.
Yeah.
Like not cottony, but you know,
Mm.
a bit out of the city British. It wouldn't have worked.
They kept him on after New Hope though, because he's like, oh fuck, they replaced my voice.
They gave him a job.
Oh fuck, they're not going to use my face under the mask. Like, you can't get much more fucked over there.
And he got his paycheck and you got to zoom around
Dude, he
to
still
Comic
got to be
Cons.
Darth Vader for
That's
3
true,
movies.
That's true. And yeah, and he lived off it for the rest of his life, presumably. He would have been able to go to all those Comic Con things and sign fucking things for people. Rampant nerds.
Like us.
Yes. So this episode opens up with the darling moment with Din and Grogu in the cockpit of the old Razor Crest. Keeps on saying his name to get the noise, which where everybody was saying it was hilarious last episode. Now apparently Din Djarin also thinks it's hilarious. Grogu. Grogu.
I legit, if you're able to, want you to take that noise and then chop it over Grogu doing these ones.
I would try my best. Here it is.
Grogu. Grogu?
There it was.
That would be amazing.
And then he goes over a little dialogue about, you know, buddy, I was quested to give you up to the Jedi. I love you and my cool bros.
Yeah, he's all like you know, they'll take good care of you. It's like, dude, you gotta be Piccolo. Stop pretending you're not gonna be Piccolo.
Yeah, I think that's definitely gonna be his headspace by the end of this season. But at this point, they're still like he's trying to justify it to Grogu.
I just want to point out this episode's called The Tragedy.
I was watching it and I paused it because my dog was fucking around and put her in the bedroom and I was like, I'll pause it on the title so I can go and I paused it. I was like, The Tragedy. I'm like, oh no, that's not good.
That was my reaction. I was like, oh no.
That's gonna be some kind of a tragedy.
Yeah, it's gotta be a tragedy in this episode. There has to be. Was my mind frame when I saw that title.
And then they cut in the Bee Gees Tragedy into the end credit song.
Tragedy! Yeah, I really made that joke at work today.
About this episode?
Yeah, because I said, oh, actually, have you watched it yet? And he's like, no. I'm like, well, the episode's called The Tragedy, and then they started playing the Bee Gees Tragedy. I even put it on my phone.
Well done, Mark. Well done. So he goes down to this fucking ancient Jedi planet. What was it called?
Tython.
Tython. He puts him on the rock and like,
Interesting thing about this temple, Tython, is the little rock that he put him on, that little round spear, is actually the tip of the temple. Like in Rebels, they legitimately the Jedi use the Force and everything, and the temple actually rises from under the fucking sand or dirt or whatever the fuck it is. That's why it's so hard the Empire hasn't been able to destroy it, because they can't locate it because it's hidden under the mountain.
That's cool, that's cool, that's cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, he puts him on this rock. Nothing's fucking happening. He turns around, hears a noise, and there's fucking Slave One there.
I know, I was just like, and as soon as I'm like, look, here comes Bubba. Straight up. I was like, that's Slave One. She's like, what? I'm like, there's no fucking mistaking, that's fucking Slave One. She's like, what the fuck is Slave One? I'm like, that's Boba Fett and Jango Fett shit.
Did you ask for a divorce?
Yeah, it's pending. No.
Yeah. And we can get married.
Yeah.
I know Slave One.
You do know Slave One.
So yeah, and then he turns around and Grogu's doing his like...
Yeah, meditation thing.
Yeah, now this fucking plot element was so fucking great. It just has so much tension and so much suspense.
Yeah, because he's like, we gotta go.
Yeah. You just, throughout the episode...
How did he know that it was bad though? Did he recognize the ship? Did he fucking like...
I mean, people are after him. This whole fucking time,
I get that.
he's been
the
fucking
whole thing,
gunning to save
that, but
Baby
the whole
Yoda.
thing of putting him on there and doing this thing is that it's going to attract a Jedi.
Mm.
So why didn't he... Personally, I already answered this myself when I was watching it.
Mm.
Obviously, it's way too soon for the Jedi to arrive.
Yeah, Grogu hasn't even done his thing yet.
Yeah, but I was just thinking like, maybe it was just a bit of straight up of a jump to assume that it was someone who was after them.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, I guess. Kinda. Yeah. This plot device that they use here is so fucking great. The entire episode is just filled with tension, suspense, because there's nothing
that he can do.
Din can do, and you just have all these encroaching elements of fucking danger, and you just like constantly on the edge of your seat. Like, I'm generally like emotionally invested in Baby Yoda, right? I was generally like, oh my god.
I'm emotionally invested in both of them.
Oh my god. Would you go as far to say that this show is working?
I don't know about that.
I need to get a beer. I'll be back. So yeah, he goes down and it's fucking Boba Fett.
Yeah, fucking way more fucked up than I remember him looking at.
What an episode, chapter 9.
Yeah, he's fucking so like, he's lost like his skin tone.
He's rickety wrecked, son.
He's fucked. I'm like, but then again, he escaped from a Sarlacc pit, man.
He was getting partially digested, I think, is what was happening.
Yeah, that's when he escaped from a Sarlacc pit. That's gonna leave its scars, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I was hesitant. In fact, I didn't like the idea of Boba Fett coming into this show when I heard about it after season 1 finished, just because like the Luke Skywalker thing, I wasn't ready for another childhood hero to be dragged through the fucking mud. Plus, I wanted the Mandalorian to be original and like, you know, rip its own fucking path through Star Wars and not rely on all the old tropes.
But that's the best part. Is it doesn't feel like it's relying on them.
Mm.
It feels like they're cameos for the sake of being cameos.
Yeah.
They come in, they help drive the story. We do know them, but it's not forced.
Yeah. So that was absolutely my mind frame like a year ago. But yeah, this worked 100% for me. The Mandalorian has proven itself time and time again that it's worthy and competent and exceeding it where every other Star Wars failed.
Every other one.
Trilogy, yeah, I got a tattoo. I don't know if you can see this.
Dude, the Mandalorian's better than the prequel trilogy.
Boba Fett on my foot. Yeah, of course. Of course.
My point is, it's better than the prequels and the sequels. Like it's insane how it can be better than all 6 of those movies.
I know. So Tamura Morrison, who played old Django,
his Kiwi accent was very unprominent, like not prominent.
He did have like that kind of inflection now and then. I liked his voice. It was like gritty and weird.
Yeah, well, he's older.
Yeah, I did go back and watch the scenes from episode 2 with him. And then the original Django,
I did like
Boba voice and his new voice.
He shared a line that Django said at one point.
Yeah.
I'm just a man trying to make his living in this universe. Sort of
thing. Yeah, and I actually watched Once for Warriors again today. Have you watched that film? It is a brutal...
Just that one scene you showed me over and over again.
Nah, Mark, violence against women is wrong. Yeah, it's such a brutal, dark, sad film, eh? It's basically talking about like the Maori culture, who are the natives of New Zealand, and them being like warriors and then like integrating into modern society over like...
But still having that like...
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like brutal and horrible. And his character is like a piece of shit, eh? Like a fucking piece of shit. He's not like completely 100% dark. He has some moments of...
But it's majority piece of shit.
Overall, like, he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
But he's great, and I loved him here. I'm glad he's back. He felt like Boba Fett, and this is so much more screen time than we've ever seen of Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett, he was Boba Fett's always been a badass, even though he's never done anything. But in this, he's like, fucking badass.
Nice shot. I was aiming for the other one.
He's neck level, man.
Like, and then, and then he either way, first, originally I thought, okay, Boba Fett's coming into this, he's going to, it's so obvious what's going to happen, he's going to be hunting after child, hired by the Empire to take the child, and they're going to have some big fucking battle. Turned it completely on its fucking head.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
absolutely. Yeah, so he approaches Boba Fett, they have their little discussion, and Fennec, this sniper from season 1, is alive? So that was
that
Boba
chick
Fett in
who
that episode?
that was the chick who they were trying to hunt down with that guy who turned on Mando, eh?
And
then Boba Fett at the end of the episode comes over to her, which makes total sense.
Because they had the spur samples, and we're like, is this Boba Fett? Turns out it was Boba Fett. Yeah, Boba Fett randomly saved her for some reason, and she has like a robot stomach now. I didn't see it coming. I was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole Boba Fett thing was like playing out in front of my eyes, so I was kind of focusing on that, and the way that Fennec was here, I'm like, well, that's weird. I didn't expect her to be back, but I'm fine with it. It's all good. And then like Empire landing shuttle or whatever they're called now. I don't know what they're called now. What are they called now? They're not the Empire anymore.
Remnants of the Empire.
Remnants of the Empire.
That's what I call them in Jedi Knight, like the video game. So that's what I'm referring to them as.
Yeah. So a cruiser lands down and everything picks up and pace. This was very action-packed. Directed by Robert Rodriguez as well.
I did love the way Chrissy, she pointed out, she's like, well, this fucking shuttle, it's like a clown car. They just keep coming out of it. Which is true, because I was like, when it first started, there was like 8 of them, and then there's like fucking 20 of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a troop carrier.
It's
so
designed to carry men. They're just standing there shoulder to shoulder. Directed by Robert Rodriguez, who I've been a big fan of since like high school. He was good buddies with Tarantino back in the 90s. Did like El Mariachi and Desperado. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. Kind of made Antonio Banderas the Antonio Banderas he was. He's kind of actually sunk out of fame now. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, he had his time in the life.
Doing something else. Maybe he doesn't want to be an actor anymore.
He's probably fucking rich. That's fuck, sitting in his mansion, counting his money.
Well, that's the thing. You fade out and then people forget about you, and that's amazing. Like, you can be in the light and then decide you don't want to be famous anymore and drift away, which is amazing.
Yeah, I remember Eddie Murphy interview where the interviewer said something about, his career and being the greatest comedian of all time, and then fading out and, fading out of public consciousness. He's like, I'm doing exactly what I want to do right now. I'm playing guitar, I'm hanging out with my kids, that's all I want to do.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to be a fucking actor anymore.
Yeah. So fair
enough. Fair enough. I totally get that mindset now.
Yeah. So Robert Rodriguez, a great director. They're pulling in great directors for these little 30-minute episodes, eh?
And
it's
they're
incredible.
Pulling it off.
Yeah. This was, once again, this is a very action-based show, eh? Every fucking episode is like...
So much is happening, and yet it's still...
Half an hour. There's so much plot, there's so much action, there's so much development in the narrative.
Yeah.
It's surprising.
And even though it's like each episode is still its own story, it's still pushing the plot forward.
I remember when I looked at the runtime, like 33 minutes, come the fuck on, and then I sat down for like 2 hours.
Dude, you get enough from that. I'm sorry. You're like, sweet, cool.
Yeah. So the shuttle lands.
You get some sick shots of Boba Fett and old mate fucking up stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Big whoop. They're stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Ewoks can fuck up stormtroopers.
We've addressed the stormtrooper problem several times now. Yeah.
That was a cool one, which had like yellow markings and shit.
Yeah, and it did kind of keep on escalating because like a shuttle lands and another shuttle lands. Like it does keep on escalating. And yeah, there's this great sequence with Boba and the gaffy stick, just like fucking people out. And it makes no sense to use that rather than your blaster. But I'll give it a free pass just because of how brutal.
It was brutally awesome, but I'm like, why the fuck do the troopers keep running up close to him? They're blasters.
It makes no sense, but yeah.
It's awesome.
It was great.
I give it a pass.
Yeah. Tamura Morrison was so fucking brutal.
And it's just his facial expressions while he's doing it, eh?
And he's like smashing these guys. I have to say 2 things as well. Absolutely loved his theme he was given by the composer.
I didn't notice the theme.
Yeah. It had didgeridoos in it, which is cool, and I love didgeridoos.
I mean, they are like confusing Aboriginals with
Maoris,
because like
Yeah, so Tamura Morrison is a Maori, who are the native people of New Zealand, which is right near Australia.
The Maori Islands.
What?
The Maori Islands.
What about New Zealand?
All the Kiwis. Like, yeah, well, it's like an island around New Zealand.
But they live in New Zealand as well, don't they?
Yeah, they do, but yeah, there's several native New Zealanders.
Oh, okay.
You know, you get, what are they called? The Tongas and Tonga.
Yeah, but they're from like all those islands and stuff.
Well, Maori Islands are a thing too, dude.
Yeah, but Maoris, as far as I know, are from New Zealand.
I'm not
Torres Strait Islands.
I'm not great with this shit, but I feel like a bunch of them kind of
Indonesia.
In New Zealand, you know, there's a bunch of... They're native New Zealanders, yes, but they're not the native New Zealanders, if that makes sense.
Oh.
I think there's a bunch of tribes that kind of have just evolved there.
Yeah, I mean...
could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably wrong.
I mean, I think they fucking migrated there like a few thousand years ago, but like, Maori people like consider New Zealand home.
No, they definitely are home to New Zealand. I'm just saying that
they live other places as well.
No. The Maori Islands are part of New Zealand, I'm pretty sure. But I'm just saying, that there's other cultures there in New Zealand that would be native to New Zealand as well. Than just the Maoris.
Yeah,
Other tribes and so on and so forth.
Yeah. But yeah, the point is, so yeah, Tamura Morrison is not an Aboriginal. Didgeridoo. I'm explaining this for Americans because they probably don't know what the fuck we're talking about. That's what I'm trying to fucking do here!
I forget that Americans watch your channel.
And
we're Aussie, bro.
Yeah, they have no idea about didgeridoos or Aboriginals or
I get drunk.
Well, let me explain it. Tamura Morrison is from New Zealand. He's a Maori. They used a didgeridoo for his theme. That's not from New Zealand. That's from Australia. That's an Aboriginal Indigenous instrument.
I know that some people may think that...
But pretty close!
And Australia are very close, but we're actually very separate.
Yes, we're very separate.
I mean, we still get along in New Zealand really well.
Yeah, they made the Lord of the Rings. They're cool.
I had a heap of they weren't friends, but we got along really well in high school.
I mean, yeah, I've known like 6 or 7 New Zealand people over. Like, yeah, we're so close. There's heaps of Aussies down there. There's heaps of New Zealanders up here. One of my old head chefs was a Kiwi. My partner's best mate is a Kiwi. They're fucking everywhere.
But they're not Maoris.
Well, yeah, they were actually. My head chef and Ash's mate, Jan.
Oh, well, I know Blair. He's
Blair's not Maori!
He's Kiwi, though.
Kind of.
He was born in New Zealand. His parents were born
in Transylvania.
That makes you Kiwi.
Moved to New Zealand. And now he's here. He doesn't seem very New Zealander.
Well, it's because he was like brought here when he was like 2, 3 years old, but he's still like Kiwi.
Fair enough. So during Dinjarin's first discussion with Boba, they come to a Mexican standoff, and they're basically all like, let's put down our weapons, and he puts down his jetpack.
Okay, speaking of like reasonable standoff to begin with, why did he just open fire straight away before having a conversation? Then nothing. Like, then we have a chat. Is it just to explain like, okay, I could fuck you up right now?
He knows who Din Djarin is, and he's been following him around on Tatooine and watching him.
Well, he's been following him around. Do you reckon he went to the other places following him too? He must have.
Maybe. He's been tracking.
I guess he viewed this as the best opportunity to...
Yeah, and he knows there's violence around this general situation, so he's Boba Fett. He's just like, lagging. Maybe they're just warning shots, maybe he wasn't.
They were definitely warning shots.
Yeah. Ah, fuck, where were we at?
I think that it's like a, basically like a... warning. I don't know how better to put it.
Yeah.
They had some way of putting him on, it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And they have a chat.
They all decide to put down their weapons, and he asks him to put his jetpack down.
I asked him to put his jetpack down.
Because it's a narrative beat which affects the ongoing story.
Even when he asked, I found it very odd.
Yeah. And the episode. Yeah, I think maybe...
I guess you could jump on them, maybe?
I think maybe Jon Favreau's writing the script, and he's like, none of this fucking works because this guy has a jetpack. So he's just going to be zipping around and saving Grogu. So I need to create a way for him to drop the jetpack.
You're just sitting there at the end there.
At the end when he's running up, we're not there yet.
I know. Yeah, so he just puts his jetpack down. I'm like, And he does. He puts the jetpack down.
Yeah. Mandy comes down. The violence heightens.
Notice he says, "You wait here. I'll be right back." To Grogu. And continues on. And at this point, also, Boba turns and looks at the Razor Crest. Which, as soon as I saw that, I was like, what's he planning? For some reason, it didn't click.
Yeah.
I knew the armor was on that ship, but it didn't click.
Or maybe it had flown out during all the epic shenanigans beforehand. Yeah. You know, when the whole hull was breached.
If it did.
Yeah, that would be hilarious. More troops land, and then Boba rocks up, and he's fat, he's 60, and it was amazing.
Not fat, he's just 60.
He's fat. He had the armor on, he had a robe under, he had a bit of a gut, you know. He's past his prime.
But he looked like Boba Fett.
He looked like Boba Fett, and he felt like
the
Boba
guy
Fett.
in the first episode, old mate, who was the sheriff, how the helmet was just...
It's too big.
His neck was too long.
The breastplate was like up here. This
looked like Boba Fett.
Which is weird because Tamura Morrison was Jango Fett. He wasn't Boba Fett, but I guess close enough.
Yeah, I mean, well, they obviously made it so that armor is probably not the same one old mate. They presumably made the one that old mate wore too big or whatever. This one they would have made too fit. Perfectly.
Yeah, because Jeremy Bulloch was the guy in the Boba Fett suit back in the day. But yeah, very much, and it was.
And he just
Tamura Morrison.
Shit.
And it was amazing.
He felt like someone who, once he had that armor, could take control of the situation, and he did. And it showed why Boba Fett earned that name.
We've never seen him really do anything awesome. He's just been standing in the background as that like mysterious Clint Eastwood man with no name, mysterious character with no backstory or really much screen time or anything, and became this legend over time. Yeah, and as a kid, I was always against the idea of legends and him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit. I fucking hated it because I was very much like a film-centric guy. I'm like, he died. We all fucking seen it. And then these new films.
He burps.
He literally burps. These new films rocked around. I'm like, nah, we can bring him back just because I'd like to see Boba Fett. But I'm so glad that the sequels didn't do it. I'm so glad they never made that Boba Fett spin-off movie because the sequels would have fucked it.
I thought the Boba Fett movie was going to be before he died, like between episode 3 and 4.
I have no idea.
Either way,
I'm just glad they did none of that fucking shit because this was handled perfectly somehow.
Back when they were doing that was when they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Well, that was supposed to come out this year, wasn't it?
I have no idea. I don't know. It's probably been coming out like every year for the past 5 years. Like, who the fuck knows what the fuck's happening with it? Nothing's happening with it now, obviously. They did it in The Mandalorian.
Yeah, I'm glad they fucking did.
Yeah, what I'm trying to get at is they did it right, and I'm glad that it was done here and not done in the sequels or done in some Solo-esque spin-off piece of fucking shit.
It was a lot of his
Jon
old shit, right? And all his armor and stuff. And then he had that fucking knee fucking rocket thing.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, he always had that, but you never seen him use it. I remember looking at like the action figure when I was a kid and being like,
the fuck
is that like a rocket or a dart? Or
clearly,
I thought
Jon Favreau on that had paid attention and saw that and was just like, you know what? That's clearly like a rocket launcher. Let's use it.
Jon Favreau.
And he used it.
I was Chef the other day.
It's good, eh? It's fucking great.
He really knows the hospitality industry. We both worked in the hospitality industry.
Well, he had we do. We did do/did.
You still working? You're a chef. No, but
do/did.
Yeah, okay. I've been in and out of the hospitality industry for a decade or so.
But yeah, he definitely did. But he did have a chef on side who was walking through the whole thing, which is the chef show. Is you get to see who that chef is.
Okay,
He basically you watch him now. Like it's basically Jon Favreau slowly learning more and more and more and more until he's like cooking with some of the best chefs in the world.
That's cool. Yeah, so Jon Favreau is not just a great Star Wars director, he's a great director. I'm not sure whether the Razor Crest thing happens before or after Grogu gets taken, but when the Razor Crest gets fucking blown up...
Before?
Doesn't really matter.
I feel like it was a distraction while that happened.
Possibly, yes. Let's just talk about the Razor Crest thing.
Yeah,
I love the Razor Crest.
I thought that was the fucking tragedy. When that happened, I was just like...
so was
I was like, he just got that fixed. He just got that fixed.
so good when you can ride a ship that is a character, like the Millennium Falcon or the Rocinante from The Expanse or the original Enterprise.
Just came from nowhere.
Yeah, that ship had so much like character and charisma and life to it. It's all podung and broken and run down, but it's beautiful and I loved it and it's a character. And Fabi's just like dead.
How did he convey so much emotion just staring at it with a mask on?
I think he was actually like ran up and was like, my fucking ship. Yeah, Favreau was great at killing characters.
Bob was just like, oh yeah, well good luck, mate.
Sorry about that, bro. Fucking got your ship, eh?
Oh, got me armor. I'll catch
Don't
you
worry
later.
about it though, bro. This is choice.
Oh, you want to keep this armor and fly away? Go ahead, bro.
Don't even worry about it, eh? You get another ship. Get another ship tomorrow. What do
We
you
need Sony Tython, which is a poor as shit fucking planet.
Oh yeah, so Favreau is great at killing characters. When IG-11 died, my heartstrings were pulled. I forget Nick Nolte's character from season 1, you know, the Ugnaught.
Oh yeah, old mate, yeah.
Yeah, he knows when to...
spoken.
Yeah, he knows when to kill a character, and this was fucking so effective.
Yeah, no, I was like the whole stomach sinks, like...
Because it's so sudden too.
Yeah.
It's not like in a big action sequence where
Yeah.
it's building up and the razor... You can see it happening.
It's just sitting
and
there,
then
idle.
Just sitting there.
Not enough.
And Din's like, die! Oh no, she dead. And then and Moff Gideon's like, release the fucking Dark Troopers. They fly down, and you know exactly what's gonna happen.
Okay. So they're droids then.
Yeah.
I was expecting the Dark Troopers to be like just elitely trained, you know, like the Phase Troopers. But they're clearly droids.
Well, yeah. So the Dark Phase Troopers, and there's several phases. I believe these are phase 2.
Okay. There's no reference to them being Phase Troopers. The Phase Troopers are from the Jedi Knight series and comics. I'm not sure for sure if these are Phase Troopers. They definitely have similarities.
But there was like
though.
a Dark Phase Troopers. They were like a thing, right? It's like Phase 1, 2, and 3.
The Phase Troopers are all, I guess, a version of Dark Troopers. I guess. But these were just called Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
But they already had Dark Troopers in Rogue One.
But yeah, they were Shadow Troopers, or they were Dark
I guess
Troopers?
they were Shadow Troopers. Yeah.
I assumed that these were like the Dark Phase Troopers. From,
I just
Battlegrounds
wish they had called them Phase Troopers. I was just like, as soon as it said Dark Troopers, I was like, oh.
Yeah, well, I knew the name to be Dark
faster.
Phase Troopers rather than just Phase Troopers. There's so many like different fucking offshoots and legends and comic books and video games.
Well, at the moment they're just Dark Troopers. He hasn't mentioned Phase. He just said Dark. So let's just call them the Dark Troopers until we have more clarification.
Yeah. So they start flying down, and you already know exactly what's going to happen. It's set it up from the beginning with Grogu and his force thing.
I had forgotten at that point that he put this jetpack down. I'm like, oh, it's all good. He can jetpack up there and save the day. And then you see him like trying to get up the mountain. I'm just like, oh no. And of course he stops doing his thing and goes to sleep.
Yeah.
If he was still doing that, they couldn't do shit.
Yeah. Well, I could have shot him maybe. But that's not the mission.
Would that have worked?
They're capturing him.
If he couldn't even touch him, would a blast have worked?
They can try.
It works, baby, and it just dies.
So they grab him and fly away, and Jon's like, I got nothing!
Yeah, like, what do you do at that point?
Yeah.
And then dude, Slave 1 goes straight after it, and it's like, oh, there's a light Imperial cruiser. So did you still want that baby, bro?
Then Boba flies down and Mandy's like, well, I guess we're done here. He's like, no. We got an oath. I'm going to help you save the kid.
Now that part confused me, but I was happy he said it.
It'd be interesting to see him carry on, because typically the Mandalorian is like one and done.
Yeah.
You know, like Cobb Vanth in episode 1
like people
done.
make it
Ahsoka 1 and done.
later, you know.
Yeah, but this is right next episode, presumably.
Yeah, can you imagine how different that could have been if Ahsoka had to just fucking come along? Oh, I'll just sit here with Baby Yoda while you guys go off
and guard him.
And then just
kill
slice
these
all the
fucking
Dark Troopers when they come down. It would have been nothing to her.
But she didn't go.
She didn't. She sat back and she's probably smoking a doobie.
You reckon?
I reckon.
I reckon fucking Boba Fett hits the bill. It's hard. Hey bro, you wanna fly for a bit? Just gonna sink a couple billies, eh?
Just gonna punch a few guys.
Do you want one of these? You can't take your helmet off, I'll blow the smoke under, eh?
Well, that's cool, it's got an attachment, bro.
Were you, I forgot what they were, children of the watch? Were you children of the watch, bro? Is your attachment? Fucking. Do you imagine smoking a billy after the Razor Crest has exploded and fucking Baby Yoda's been taken?
Oh, it'd be so dumb.
Your mind would just instantly go to
Yeah, it wouldn't be a good
yeah,
time.
you're sitting there, Pink Floyd's playing, you're not listening to Pink Floyd, you're just like, Jesus.
And then anyway. And then, okay, so then he fucking, so clearly Boba Fett's taken him off planet, right? And he's gone back to that planet with the Sheriff Chick, Navarro, yeah.
Yeah.
And he needs to find Bill Burr.
Yeah, so I'm guessing he's setting up a team to face Moff Gideon, and he's assembling the team, you know, like they did in season 1. He's got Boba and fucking Fennec and Cara Dune.
And then she's like, oh, you know, I don't want to go against the New Republic. Yeah, but they took the child, mate.
Jesus. Yeah. Bill Burr, who we both love.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think Ahsoka's going to be part of this team, but yeah, he's going to get a little team and he's going to fight Moff Gideon.
Part of the team. She's getting her own series, so
that's fair.
She doesn't need to be part of the team. She might be, though.
Yeah, maybe, what's her face? Mandalorian lady with the headband?
Oh, yeah. No, but she's so busy doing her own fucking thing.
Mm-hmm. You know? She doesn't give no fucks about Grogu.
She doesn't give a fuck. As soon as she gets what she wants, she's done. Bo-Katan.
But yeah, well, so Mandy has the best Castile spear, so he's gonna fucking go head to head with Moff Gideon. Although fucking Bo-Katan wants the dark saber, right? So he could be like,
yes, you're right.
So she is completely emotionally invested in this.
The spear can deflect lightsabers, as we saw.
Yeah, so both him
plus his armor can.
Yeah, he's in the game, man.
That was so cool.
It was so.
He was
awesome.
so gonna die then.
Yeah, he was outgunned. Yeah, so in conclusion, this was
no,
no,
we're not done yet.
Okay.
There was also a scene where Moff Gideon and Baby Yoda was like throwing fucking stormtroopers and choking them and shit.
That was full on, man.
Yeah, man. Baby Yoda's just
so
like,
sad to see him in those moments.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, he could easily fall to the dark side, eh?
Yeah.
And do you think Moff Gideon sees that?
Maybe. I mean, at this point, he just wants to fucking suck the blood out of him.
I guess, but we still need to know what the motive there is.
Too.
I assumed it was towards the Dark Troopers, but clearly it's not.
No, well, they appear to be, droids, so that has nothing to do with it. Maybe Moff Gideon himself wants to use the Force, but he can't, so he's trying to do some blood transfusion type of deal.
It better not be fucking
plus cloning.
Sidious and Snoke and shit.
No, nobody wants to ride the Skywalker. I don't even want to see Luke Skywalker in this. I was hesitant
about Boba. I'm totally fine with not seeing Luke.
They did the Boba Fett thing right, though.
I mean, they could do Luke. I did.
I've been so burnt in the past, Mark.
I know.
Do you remember?
Nothing has burnt us in fucking The Mandalorian yet, though.
That's true.
Like nothing.
Yeah, there's been average episodes.
Yeah,
like 3 of
but
them.
even they were average.
And they were like season 1 episodes.
They were on the average side of great, though.
Yeah. Season 2 is surprised.
Season 2 has not had a bad episode. There's been like, oh, that wasn't as good as the phenomenal episode before. Yeah. That was just great.
But you need those episodes. So yeah, episode 2 was like a building episode, Frog Lady episode.
Yeah.
I like Frog Lady episode.
No, episode 2 was the one with the Mandalorians, like Bo-Katan and shit, wasn't it?
Nah, that was episode 3. Fighting the dragon, Frog Lady and the spiders,
the spiders,
Mandalorian,
yeah, that's right.
the Siege, Ahsoka, Boba Fett.
Yeah, right.
I got 2 more.
I'm not ready for it to end.
I have enjoyed this.
In conclusion, fucking good. I gotta say, in conclusion.
That was the first time. Well, now do the thing. Say the dialogue.
In conclusion, it was a great episode. They did a really good job encapsulating Boba Fett in this. Even though we didn't get a lot of Boba Fett in, the original trilogy, I feel like this is what Boba Fett should be. This is what he would be like.
Yeah.
The armor looked great. The tension was fantastic with that scene with Baby Yoda.
Yeah, absolutely.
And him being taken was legitimately a tragedy. I mean, the Razor Crest was a fucking tragedy too. So it should have been the tragedies.
Tragedies.
Because the Razor Crest was a fucking tragedy too.
It was. And he's not going to get it back. He's just going to get a different ship.
Yeah.
Favy knows.
The Millennium Falcon! No.
That's what Ryan Johnson would do. Why didn't Ryan Johnson kill the Millennium Falcon and not Luke?
I'm surprised he didn't, to be honest.
He killed everything else.
Yeah, he killed
interest in Star Wars.
Dude, he did.
Until
The Mandalorian.
That's
I feel complete and utter faith and interest in Star Wars at the moment, thanks to the Mandalorian and the Clone Wars.
Absolutely. Can you believe?
I was at the
Star
point.
Wars?
I was at the point where I didn't think it would be able to come back, but it did.
It's back.
Thank you, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
You've gone.
You
done
guys,
good.
you guys, seriously.
Knocked it out of the park. Continuing to knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
Every week.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you and good night.